Penn is trying to move around the outside to give it a little bit more impetus at this early stage.
And this plays straight into the hands of the athletes in the second race. It's the first four in these two heats, plus 4 fast losers. Now, what these women are effectively doing is looking at one another and saying, right, we're going to have to finish in the first 4 if we want to make the final. It may, well, it can still work its way out if somebody here grasps the nettle and kicks on. But they do appear to be reluctant, although one athlete has now sensed, right, it's time to stop messing around. Let's go straight to the front.
Well, this young woman, 17 times the Estonian champion at both 800 and 1500 metres, and clearly wants to get the tenor of this race improved considerably. She's a 4:11 competitor at best, so she knows that it's no good hanging back, because if she doesn't get in the first 4, then she's not got the speed at present to get a fastest loser. Well, she's certainly changed it, hasn't she? Well, there's one athlete dropped out. Was that Pliszeba of the Ukraine? I think it was.
And there was no apparent spiking or anything like that. She just simply stepped off the track. She'd only been going about 350 metres.
Well, look at Hassan now, moving to second place. Very nicely into second place. Marta Penn of Portugal. She's a collegiate champion this year. Mississippi State University. The slight figure on the outside, the white top and the green. And Urbank there is Danuta Urbanik, third in the Ostrava Golden Spike 1500 metres, and that's quite a good race to be in. Big improver from 4:07.95 to 4:06 just recently. With a couple of laps to go, Hassan takes it over, controls the race. Right at the back, the Spanish Bobachir, the Romanian Bobachir is looking quite comfortable.
Well, you can see Hassan having gone to the front. She's really not putting up with this slow race. And some athletes who are capable of going sub-4, they actually feel a little bit uncomfortable when they're running so slowly. So Hassan has simply said, right, I'm going to start running at a tempo which suits me.
Yes, indeed. And in fact, it was Marta Perez of Spain. I was just checking on her up in that leading group. But this, the third lap is always the one that sorts them out. And I just wonder, Hikochka is in the mix as well. So as they come into the straight, they've got a straightaway, and then the lap to go, and Hassan leads. Penn in second place, Urbanik in third, Hiochka in fourth place, just ahead of Gara McGeehan of Ireland. And this is it, 400 metres to go now. And Perez of Spain now moves wide, and the young woman who took it on, Cernov, I said it, she didn't have the fast time, she needed to do that, she's right off the back and gone. Hassan now is winding it. It's a subtle wind up down that back straight with 300 metres to go. First 4 go through by right, and Hassan has really taken this on. She really has. And in second place is Babasevich of Belarus. Numerous Belarusian titles to her credit, over 800 and 1500 metres. So she's got some basic speed as they head with just under 200 metres to go. And there are 4 or 5 in the mix still as they come in with about 150 metres to go. Hassan leads, as one would expect. In second place, Paris Hiochka coming off the bend. She's a talent as well. Hiochka is there. And here comes Penn round the outside, the American-based young woman. Hiochka is there. Barasevich is there. Hassan is under real pressure, isn't she, at the moment from Hiochka. Hassan wins. Hiochka's second. In third place was McGeehan, the Irish woman, and I think that was Penn in fifth, but we'll check on that in a moment. But that, actually, Hassan didn't look as dominant as I thought she would. We haven't seen her outdoors this season, I must admit. That giving her the pedigree we did, that's on the basis of last season, but 4:13, as she looked a little bit under pressure at the end. I wasn't totally convinced by that, but we'll see. She's got it. Hiochka, and Penn, it was Penn, to get the fourth qualification, just running out of Babasevich. Not a lot in it between those two, but here we go. That's McGeehan, World Youth Silver Medal back in 2009 for the Irish woman. World Youth Silver in 2010 over 1500 metres. The previous one over 8. But there it is. Penn comes through. Those 4 clear at the end. But Hassan, well, World Indoor Champion, not seen her since. And that indoor time, 4:01.40.
Yes, I think as an exercise in economy of effort from Sifan Hassan, well, it certainly wasn't that. She went off early from the back as if she was just positioning herself to pick off her rivals progressively through the race. But she made a bold move with about 600 or 700 meters to go, hit the front, and it meant she actually worked quite hard on a day when it's reasonably blustery, so she's tested herself a bit, and it can't be great for confidence, I wouldn't have thought, but she's gone through very comfortably indeed. One athlete who has missed out is Danuta Urbanek, who looked very good for a while, and also you mentioned there Stuart Barasevic, who's a multi-champion at her home country of Belarus.
Hassan then, Piotska, Magian and Penn, the 4 qualifiers by right.
Well, meanwhile, we're underway in the second heat of the women's 1500 meters. Just to give you an idea of what faces these women, well, the fastest loser spots from that first heat, all between 4:14 and 4:18, which is pretty modest quality. So if these women do get a move on, which in all honesty they're not doing at the moment, there is a chance that we will get certainly more than the 4. But it's a strong field. Great Britain being represented by the Birmingham University medical student Sarah McDonald, who's a big improver this year. She's improved by around about 10 seconds. She's just on the outside towards the back of that group, just running rather close to Lucia Klocheva. Klocheva, a woman who we've seen in many international finals. So let's get some sort of idea what this is after 400 meters. It's rather better, I must say, than the first heat. Magnani, the Italian, leading things up, although just stepping to the second lane as if to beckon somebody through. There is Magnani, just looking at it's Pereira, the Spaniard. And now there's an invitation for Makastad, the Norwegian, to also come through. So something like 8 to 9 meters covering the entire field. That is Makastad of Norway has the lead. Magnani is there in second place. The Briton just running towards the back on the outside. Also in this field, look out for the pole, Sophia Ennui, a World Championship semi-finalist in both the 800 and the 1500 last year. That's her at the back of the field.
Just looking at Sarah McDonald, very sensible piece of running. She's not in trouble on the inside. She's just moving up nicely, good control. But news of Melissa Courtney of Great Britain in the first heat, 4:18.74. Obviously with 4 fastest losers, then, well, she's got to hope that this is a great deal slower, but we'll see.
So 10 women looking for a guaranteed 4 places. There may even be as many as 8 through 800 meters in 2:18. It is Makastad, the Norwegian, there on the right. McDonald has taken much closer order there for Great Britain in the middle. Just coming wide is Maren Koch, who finished 15th in the 5,000 meters at these championships 2 years ago. And now the Norwegian, well, she started to kick a little bit with a little more than 500 meters to go. Makastad leads, Magnani there in second place, Pereira's in third, the Briton McDonald is in 4th. Klocheva towards the back, you can see the bleached blonde hair. She's an outstanding 800 meter runner, or at least has been in the past. Ennui, look out for her, World Championship silver medalist at both the, or should I say semi-finalist at both the 8 and 1500 meters, taking much closer order now.
Good position by the Briton as she goes into 4th place at the moment. Just holding on, made a little bit of a surge, has just got to hang on here now. It's accelerating now into the back straight. Terzic is really beginning to push it on. It's a subtle increase. You can see the look on faces as they approach, and the Briton is being overtaken, and she's right on the inside, doesn't want to get trapped.
Yes, you can see Klocheva with that almost flame of blonde hair moving wide, making quite a move, the former Olympic semi-finalist, and Terzic kicking on there. It's been a good run here by the Serb, the European under-23 champion, and she's leading them home with Klocheva there in second place. Let's see the Briton. She's coming wide into the straight. Remember, it's 4 places guaranteed in this final, and McDonald's coming through very hard. She's in 3rd place now. Terrific run from the Briton, but it is Terzic who takes it. Klocheva second, coming through very fast down the outside with Sophia Ennui. but it was McDonald coming through in fourth for Great Britain. So Britain will have a finalist in the 1500 metres. The winning time, 4:09.71. So I would suggest there could well be 6, 7, maybe even 8 from that heat in the final.
Yeah, I think you're right. 8 will go through from that second heat. We're right down into 8th and 9th place, still at 4:12 and beyond. So we know that 4:14 was the 5th place in the previous heat. So they're all going from that second heat.
Yes, those times just been confirmed now. The likes of Murren Koch also coming through.
A bit of a trip there, wasn't there? And Sarah McDonald involved in that a little bit. She stuttered a little bit as they were round about the 200 metres to go, but has recovered well down the straight. Liked her attitude. She got in the right place at the right time, faltered a little bit and then came back and looked good. Just overtaken for 3rd place in the final stage, but nevertheless, the qualification is all you can do.
I was impressed with this woman, Terzic. Look at that. A double gold medalist at last year's European Under-23 Championships, and she was coasting here. Not really extending herself at all, just to spread eagle this field, and she could be a real threat to Sifan Hassan when we get to the final.
I know you've been injured. How was the race for you?
The race, I just make it the race. It wasn't that tough, but it was okay. It was good because I'm the one who make it the race.
And in terms of how you feel and your confidence for the final?
Yeah, I'm confident, but not the same as I used to be because I get injured almost for 3 months after World Indoor Championships. But now I'm getting every training better. I'm almost injury-free, but I don't have much speed in my body that I have to work on that.
So obviously the Europeans is a little early for you, but maybe for the Olympics you'll be back to 100%?
Yeah, I think I will 100% I will be back to the Olympics because I have a lot of endurance because of I work almost 3 months longer time and something like that. But a little bit early European champion with me. And I also need a lot of competition to get in the top.